Good morning, everyone. We are back for another week of writing. I was so happy when Mr. Garley asked me last week to go and join him on his video. So I've decided to do so myself. And not only am I doing it, I am joined by a very special guest. Hello, Miss Shuttleworth.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? We miss you lots.
How are you doing, Miss Shuttleworth?
I'm okay, staying as sane as possible in these strange times, you know. 3 boys running around. It's a little weird, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, you're doing great. You're doing great. So, this week, Miss Shuttleworth, we are looking at a new picture. And can you see my picture, Miss Shuttleworth?
I can. It looks very spooky.
Yes, so me and my lovely class of 6AA, we love a spooky picture. So this week I've decided to theme our story all around this. Now, this picture has a lovely little girl in the front of it and something in the back. So let's have a look at what our activity is for today. So we are going to create a mind map of ways to describe the setting. Think about what could be hidden in the mist. How could you show suspense through your setting description? And then after we've done all those things, we're going to write a paragraph for your setting description. So I have come up with a couple of things for a mind map, but mine is on PowerPoint and it's quite boring, Miss Shuttleworth.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that the children will be able to come up with some really beautiful mind maps like we know that they can.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be nice and beautiful with lots of lovely vocabulary that we can have a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully they will send them to us as well so we can see them.
Hope so.
So here are some of the things that I've come up with. I was sitting there this morning because I was feeling very dedicated and I was looking at the picture thinking, what can I see? And I was thinking about the different senses as well, because that's a really good way of describing the setting. So I can see thick dark fog.
Yeah,
rippling water.
Yeah.
I thought with the rippling water, that could be 2 senses in one. It could be, you could see it, but you could also hear it because you can hear rippling water.
Oh yeah, and you could talk about the way that water moves and things like that. That would be quite nice.
Yeah. The dark shadow of a building.
Okay, is that this thing in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was a boat when I first looked at this picture.
It's interesting how people have different perspectives on the same picture, and that's why we have such an array of stories just from one image.
Yeah.
Brilliant, isn't it? I thought about a gentle breeze as well, because you can feel a gentle breeze in your arm.
Yeah, you have goosebumps hearing.
Yeah. The idea of it being tranquil.
Okay.
See, when we spoke about this before, we also said about how tranquil could be like a nice thing, perhaps.
Yeah, it does sound like a sort of nice quiet, doesn't it, rather than sort of eerie quiet that we're going for.
And we need to be really careful about what vocabulary we use, because we don't want to be using things that make it sound like it's a pleasant atmosphere, because it's not at all, is it?
No, it's definitely not somewhere you want to be stood, I think.
Yeah, we really need to think about using negative words in this piece of writing rather than positive ones.
Definitely.
Damp air, because you can feel the dampness in the air sometimes, can't you? Causing a shiver down your spine, perhaps. And ominous clouds, because I thought they looked quite threatening.
They do. You don't really know what's around you if you're stood there, do you?
No, because you can't see it, so it's quite scary. It's quite spooky, isn't it?
Definitely.
Okay, so I am also now going to show you my paragraph that I wrote, Miss Shuttleworth, and I want to hear your feedback on it. Okay. All was quiet among the fog-stricken river. Minute waves rippled, battling for domination as they overlapped one another in the gentle breeze. The air was so thick with fog that you could barely see anything in the distance. Intriguingly, the only thing that could be spotted was a dark shadow of a building lurking in the remoteness. So, Miss Shuttleworth, I'm going to talk you through some of the things that I've used in here, okay? So, I've really tried to use lots of different senses to create a scary image in the reader's head. Now, I haven't used all of the senses in this paragraph, but I'm sure the children will be able to use some more in there as well. So I've used silence, I've used waves, rippling, and I've used breeze. So I've used a few, but I'm sure that the children will be able to get a few more in there. I've also used personification because I said battling for domination. Now I tried to do this because I wanted to help the reader image what I could see. So I was trying to pull on their knowledge of different things to help them create this scary, spooky image in their head. I've also used a range of sentence starters because I don't want my writing to be boring. I don't want to use the I all the time. I've also thought about the suspense aspect that we're trying to get into this paragraph. Now, I was thinking about perhaps not identifying what that thing is in the background because I want the reader to question what it is. So I want to intrigue them and make them wonder, create an image in their head that they think that what they think it is, but however they don't actually know what it is. So that makes them want to read on. What do you think?
Okay. I definitely think you have created a very spooky setting description here. I especially like the battling for domination thing. Two things I would say is, like you said in your last sentence, you want to make the reader sort of that suspense of not knowing what it is. So could you even go as far as taking out of a building and just have could be spotted was a dark shadow lurking in the remoteness, and then you completely take out any of what you're saying it is, and it leaves it completely up to the reader's imagination as to what that shadow is.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea actually, Miss Shuttleworth, because then we actually don't have any idea of what it is. So I've given a little bit away saying that it's a building, but we could actually make it more spookier if I take that out. That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that. With a dark shadow lurking in the remoteness. Perfect. Did you think of anything else?
Okay, so the only other thing was the use of gentle breeze, because sort of the imagery in my head was all spooky until we got to there, and then it was more like a sort of summer field with that nice gentle calming breeze, and it sort of
and I
away
suppose
from
that
spookiness.
Yeah, and that's going back to the thing that we said before, isn't it, about making sure that we use negative words to show that this is a negative piece of writing.
Yeah, so I changed the use of gentle to something maybe sort of mirroring the creepiness of the surroundings. So obviously you've used ominous for the fog, haven't you? So you could do an eerie breeze to show just that spookiness of it.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's good. So should we read it through one more time with the edits?
Okay.
And then the children could perhaps go and write their own ones and really impress us.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All was silent among the fog-stricken river. Minute waves rippled, battling for domination as they overlapped one another in the eerie breeze. The air was so thick with fog that you could barely see anything in the distance. Intriguingly, the only thing that could be spotted was a dark shadow lurking in the remoteness. I think that's much better. Perfect. Thank you so much for helping me, Miss Shuttleworth.
That's okay.
So, what we would like you to go and do now is we want you to go and create your own setting description, really thinking about building suspense in your paragraph. And we cannot wait to read some of your paragraphs that you send back to us. So, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.